Hey everyone, my name is Sophie from Sophisticated Motherhood, and today we're going to be doing Christmas crafts and activities that you can do with your toddler. And depending on your toddler's age, it's going to vary how involved they can be at any stage of the process of these activities. So I want to start with one that is a paper craft, and it's going to be an advent calendar or countdown to whatever winter event you want. You can do one for Christmas. I'm going to do one of those. I have my son's birthday that's in December, so I could do a countdown for his birthday. Maybe if you see up and coming on the forecast the first day of snow, you could do that. Or if there's some big lights show that you're gonna see over the holidays, you could do a countdown until that. Really any exciting activity. It's just a great way to help kids conceptualize the amount of time. But if your child is a little bit older, you can get them involved in the activity of making this craft. So I am going to start with some construction paper here and cutting it into little strips. And we are going to make this a few different ways, and I'll show you exactly how I'm gonna do it. Once you have all of your strips cut out, you are just going to do a very simple process of adding a little piece of tape to each, taping them together, and continuing to make your little chain. One of them I'm going to alternate red and green and make that one a countdown to Christmas. And another one I'm going to do white and make a snowman. And a third one I am going to do brown and make a reindeer. So I'm going to get started on that right now. Once you have all of your chains made, which I do, then comes the fun part of decorating them. Again, I'm going to turn this one into a reindeer, so I have some googly eyes ready. I also have some pom-poms. I have my hot glue gun heating up. And involve your kids in whatever stage of this that they're able to. Again, if not, if this is too advanced for your toddler or your little one, you can just involve them in the ripping off of each chain as you get closer to whatever you are counting down. So I'm gonna start with the reindeer and show you what I'm doing for each of them. Next up is a box craft, and I love doing box crafts. I have a whole other video on a few different box crafts that you can do with your kids for any season. This one I'm gonna be making a little Christmas tree on this cardboard box here. I'm just finding one of the sides that doesn't have a bunch of labels still on it or one of the breaks in there. It'll just be easier, and I am going to draw a Christmas tree. I have some paint pens here that I'm going to use. You could use markers or colored pencils or actual paint if you want to, or you could get really easy and just cut out a Christmas tree image from online and paste it on here, and then I'll show you the next step in just a minute. So next up, I'm going to take some Q-tips and color the tips of them with the corresponding colors for the ornaments that I made. It would be a good idea to make as much as you have for each ornament color. So for example, if I have 4 yellow ones, then I'm gonna do 4 yellow Q-tips and just use my paint pen and dab a little bit. You can do it on both sides just so your kid can really see the color, or you can just do it on one side. And then after I finish painting all of these, I am going to take an X-Acto knife and put a little X where each of the ornaments are. So I'm gonna push in one direction, push in the other, and then you have a fine motor craft for your child to use Q-tips and practice putting them in the right spots, practice with different colors. I have done this craft before with golf tees as well. So if you have golf tees, you could color the tips of golf tees and do that another way too. So I am going to get to coloring. This activity is one that you and your kids can eat. I just made a big batch of pancake dough here. I'm gonna get to cooking some pancakes, and then we're going to make some fun Christmas and holiday shapes with the pancakes that will get your kids really excited to eat. And feel free to use whatever pancake recipe you want. I'm gonna link the one that I used in the description box below today. It's one of my favorites. It's a cottage cheese pancake. So it's packed with some healthy protein, but again, use whatever pancake recipe you want. You could use box pancakes, and then we will get to decorating. I have a few pancakes here that I've cooked in varying shapes and sizes, mostly circular, and I'm gonna start putting them in a few different shapes. I have seen some images on Pinterest that I'm gonna try and recreate. I saw a reindeer, a Santa, maybe a snowman, so we're gonna see what we can do. I also grabbed raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, banana, and then you can either use whipped cream, or I'm gonna make it a little bit healthier and use plain Greek yogurt. If you're gonna use Greek yogurt, actually, or whipped cream, probably make sure your pancakes have cooled just a little bit so it doesn't all just completely melt on top of your design. And I am going to load the Greek yogurt into a Ziploc here and then use it like a piping bag as if I were doing frosting. Last thing we're gonna make is some gingerbread cloud dough. I have shared different Play-Doh recipes before, but I've never made cloud dough. So I thought this would be a fun thing to share. And it is just gonna be 2 parts of cornstarch per 1 part of hair conditioner. I would probably recommend using a cheaper hair conditioner. You don't need anything fancy here. But I am just gonna do a cup of cornstarch with 1 cup of conditioner, and then we will mix it together. You can always make this a little bit more seasonal by adding in some cinnamon to it to give it a nice
holiday scent. You can color it however you want. So you can make it peppermint and add a little bit of peppermint essential oil or something, and then add some red food coloring. But I am going to be adding in brown food coloring and making this a gingerbread cloud dough. So I have my gingerbread cookie dough cutter ready to go. And it's seriously so simple. It's just 2 ingredients, mix them together till it starts to form. Once it's formed, then you can add in your food coloring. You can get really creative with this. You can get a rolling pin out and play with it like you would with Play-Doh. And then with the cookie cutters, especially if you're doing a gingerbread one, get some buttons out maybe, or some googly eyes, and have them make different faces and make different gingerbread people. And they can make it over and over and over again, because you can keep re-rolling or keep taking out the buttons that you put in and putting other things in and dressing them up in different ways. I just have to say, this is the softest dough that I have ever made. I know I said I'd never made cloud dough before. I am for sure gonna make this again in the future. I can't even describe. Hopefully you can tell the way it's moving through my hands, but I'm really excited for our son to play with this. It was really easy to use with the cookie cutter and just, again, feels really great. So I will be making more cloud dough in the future. Hopefully you enjoyed these 4 different activities, a little snack, and you are looking forward to the holiday season yourself. If you have something fun you'd like to do with your kids, leave a comment below and let me know. And again, I want to thank you for joining me today as together we make this motherhood journey sophisticated.